A multi-disciplinary task team consisting of top regional and national detectives to investigate the fatal shooting of Bafana Bafana captain Senzo Meyiwa. National Police Commissioner Leapiecha told a media briefing in Johannesburg that investigators were dispatched to the scene of the crime in Ekurhuleni. That was at Meyiwa's girlfriend Kelly Khumalo's house where the shooting took place. The singer and actress Khumalo was seen leaving her home in Vosloorus, and police have cordoned off the house along with that of a neighbouring house as well. The mood at Orlando Pirates' camp has been described as highly emotional, with Senzo's teammates openly weeping after hearing the news. The Premier Soccer League has postponed the Soweto derby as well. That was supposed to take place between arch rivals Orlando Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs over the weekend. Addressing a media briefing attended by South African soccer bigwigs, an emotional Bafana Bafana coach, Ephraim Shakes Mashaba, described how Senzo Meyiwa carried the team through the African Cup of Nations qualifiers without conceding a goal in 4 matches. Now, in studio today, we're joined by the man who's been on this story for the last couple of days, really. That's our own reporter, Manqoba Mchunu. Very good morning, Manqoba. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Pepe.
There's been a lot of speculation and loose talk, really, most of it on social media, about this case. Where is this case right now?
Well, at the moment, police are investigating. We saw them yesterday going to the crime scene in Vosloorus where this took place. We saw forensic experts, we saw crime scene experts. We also saw a team of forensic detectives that have been assigned to this case, also coming there, talking to the family, talking to neighbors, and also trying to piece together really what happened on that night. And as well as we also saw also people, the community at large, coming out to hear and to really find out what went there.
You mentioned the community. It must be a community that's in total shock. Spreadview is actually the neighbourhood that this shooting took place in.
Yes. Actually, the community there was very shocked and in disbelief about what happened yesterday, because they say that although there is crime in the area, it's just petty crime, like robberies, like your muggings and so forth. So this type of a crime where somebody was actually shot in a house, it came as a big shock to them, and they're really calling for those suspects to be really arrested by police, and even saying that even they themselves, of the community members, are willing to work with police, are willing to share any information or any leads that they might have should they get any information.
What about the high-profile girlfriend Kelly Khumalo? We've seen a lot of attacks on her on social media. Most of it really judgmental and quite uncalled for. Do we know where she is now and what her whereabouts really about? Has anyone managed to speak to her at all?
Well, as far as we know, at this current stage, Kelly Khumalo is at her home in Vosloorus where the shooting took place. That's where she was when Senzo Meyiwa had come to visit. We did try to speak to her yesterday, but all our attempts failed because the family was just simply too traumatized yesterday to even speak to the media. They didn't want to even go close to journalists. In fact, when Kelly Khumalo drove out of the house, she also, did this hastily, trying to avoid, obviously, the media from even getting an opportunity. Her mother also walked past to the neighbouring house. We tried to talk to her. She also didn't want to talk. But we could see the devastation on Kelly Khumalo's face as she drove out of that house, going to the police station. We know that the family is still traumatized, and we know that they're still receiving some sort of trauma counselling from the police services.
Now we've seen the clubs come together and the community come together. The Soweto derby, unheard of, has been postponed in honour of Senzo. Do we know how the rest of the week will will proceed in this case?
Well, what we know so far is that the investigation is still at its early stages. The detectives and all the crime experts are busy still sifting through the information that they have. So we are expecting maybe the police to also come forward with regards to what they have so far, looking at things like maybe the post-mortem results as to what could have caused his death, things like that. We're expecting to hear more from the police side, as well as that identikit. We know that some of the neighbors have given a description of what those suspects look like. So we're hoping to see some sort of identikit or some sort of information coming out as to identify or try to identify these suspects.
And those will probably come to light today. But I want to conclude our chat quickly, Manqoba, and just talk about South Africa and violence and the way that this country is perceived. If anywhere else in the world the national captain of your football team is gunned down, it would be the biggest story of that year.
Certainly, Eben, and it's again a wake-up call to South Africa in terms of crime. And it's an everyday thing, but when really a national captain of the national team is killed, it's really a wake-up call to all of us and also to officials with regards to crime. Let us all play our part in trying to really tackle crime in our communities and also at a national level. So it's a real wake-up call. It's a painful story that we always have to, really talk about waking up when something like this happens. But it's really to say to us, South Africa, it's time that we really need to do something about crime.
Manqoba, thank you for joining us today. Of course, the man on the scene will keep us updated throughout the rest of the week as to how this story develops. Thank you for joining us and giving us a little bit of an insight into a very difficult story to carry and a very difficult story for us.